Good afternoon, good afternoon, beautiful people. Welcome to Brooklyn Squad, real life drama, real life crimes. And today we have young people who have vanished. Just vanish. Now we know that people just don't disappear out of the blue. Sometimes you do have people that run away, right? We do have the runaways. But let's keep it 100, right? Most of the time, in these ages, we have people that have been taken, right? Kidnapped, S trafficked, human trafficking, work trafficked, and other things. And today, we have at least five victims that have been missing, that are still missing, that needs the public's help. So I am asking you, please hit that like button, share this video, because it's just not me. We have the families that needs your help. They need their loved ones back home. We need to get their faces out there. If it was you and your loved one, or your daughter, or your son, or God forbid, my loved one, or my children, or my husband, God damn it, I know I will work so hard to get them home. And I will hope that you will work as hard also. So please hit that like button and share this video so that we can get the victims' faces out there. So if a content creator like myself does crime and wants to bring these faces out there, excuse me, I will hope that they see this and says, you know what? They're missing. I do crime as well. Let me put them on my channel and get their faces out there as well. Give me 1 second, please. Until then, I got something I'm going to pull up, but I just got an emergency. That, that was very important. Okay. Hey, Kathy B, how are you? Okay, you out with your family or catch the replay? Not a problem. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Okay, so the first case on the list is Alana Lanier. Now, for those of you that don't know, Alana Lanier, this case was very dear to me. Okay. Alana Lanier, and I don't remember everything, so I have to write stuff down because I have like 5 cases on here. Okay. I have been entered with this case since the beginning. Okay. When I found out about the case, I can't remember how I found out about the case, but when I did find out about the case, I jumped on it because I remember seeing a pretty young Puerto Rican girl who went missing, and it caught my eye because she wound up being with two other individuals. And just the whole story just kind of got me off. And I was like, I need to look into this. First of all, she's gorgeous. Okay. And her family was pleading for her to come home. And it just wasn't like her to go not contact her family. And then when I heard the story of the girl she was with, it really got me thinking. So I said, I'm going to look into this. And I did. And I'm glad I did. Because looking into that case, I built a relationship with her mother, her uncle, and now her aunt. And they are beautiful, beautiful family. And they miss their baby girl. And they want Alana. And I know I say her name wrong, but they know it's not. They know it's nothing but love. Lanana Lanier home. They want her home. Lana Lanier is 20. I'm gonna say is. I'm not gonna say was. Is 24 years old. She has been missing since 2022, July 30th. We're in December now. Okay. Going into January, going into another year, 2024 almost. But we're still in 2023. Okay. She was last seen at 1660 Peach Street Apartments, okay, in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, allegedly, I'm tired, so tired of saying allegedly when I know the real truth here, but I gotta say allegedly for goddamn YouTube. Allegedly, Alana Nania had a family friend named Tori Green. And Tori Green is just not a family friend. She is like, you could say, kind of family relative friend. Okay, Tori Green was very close to the family. Now, Alana and Tori, they were cool. You know what I'm saying? And Tori Green was simply blowing up Alana's phone the day before, all of a sudden, blowing up her phone while Alana was with her family. Alana Lanier is a family person. She's very close with her family, okay? She's a family girl. She loves hanging out with her little brother. She babysits him a lot. She hangs out with her mother. You can see pictures where her mother's out chilling. She hangs out with the aunt, like her uncle. She's a family girl. So for Alana not to have called her family is very strange. Very strange. And not only that, Alana is a loving, caring young girl, right? She likes to look out for people. She cares about you. You are ride or die. She's like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got your back. If you're going through something, I'm there. I want to help you. Tori Green was the outcaster, right? She was always going through something. She was going through something. She was she had problems in her life. She was going down the wrong path. And she was blowing up Alana's phone. And Alana's mother said, you know what? Let Tori deal with her stuff and, she'll be okay. Today you're going to be chilling with us. She said, no, mommy, Tori's going through the wrong path. She needs me. I'm going to be there for her. Well, that day she winds up meeting with Tori Green. Now, Tori Green was supposed to head to the club with Alana. They was like, Alana said, let's go to the club, let's hang out, have a few drinks, She wanted to be that family, because they were family friends. So she's like, whatever you're going through, I got you. You're going to get through it. That's the kind of person Alana was. I got you. I'm going to hang with you. Today is our day. Tomorrow be another day, but today is our day. Well, honey, when she was hanging with Tori that day, Tori took her to these two men house and Alana was never seen again. Tori Green, where's Alana Lanier? Because ever since Alana Lanier went into 1660 Peach House Apartments, them raggedy ass apartments with them two oogly mother effers, that pretty queen was never seen again. And Tori, bitch, I know you know something about it. Okay? I know you know something about it. And the reason I'm saying that, and I'm calling her out like that, and I'm gonna say why, is because after Alana Lanier went missing, she started becoming, Tory Lane started threatening the family. She started saying things like, I bet you it was Alana instead of, I bet you, she started saying nasty things like, Alana's missing. She's probably in the garbage can. I'm going to show you and let you hear a few clips that she started saying to the family. How could you be so vicious and evil from being so close to the family to now wanting this girl to be a missing target? Now, Dante and them, they were seen, let me go back a little bit. There's a videotape of Alana going in Peachtree Apartments, and then we don't see her coming out. That's the problem. We don't see her coming out. So I'm going to show you a video clip. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. And I'm going to show you some more video clips. And I had the chance, me and my girl Cheryl Nation had the chance of having Alana's mother on my platform and interviewing her. And she had a lot to say. So I have some clips to show you, but I want to get into this first clip.
Part of our show. Joining us now is Derica and Natalie Wilson from the Black and Missing Foundation. It is so great to have you guys here.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, it's great to be here.
Tell us a little bit about the organization.
Okay, so well, first we want to thank you and OP Nation for providing us with this amazing opportunity to get additional exposure on our missing persons cases and really for the families that we serve. But as you all know, people of color make up 40% of the population of missing people. And at the Black and Missing Foundation, our goal is to really bring awareness to their disappearance and to help find them. And Dan and all of you all, we are confident that this partnership will help bring more of our missing home.
So let's get to it. Let's get to tonight's case. Curtis, what do we got?
OP Nation, tonight we really need your help to find a young Atlanta woman whose life may now be in danger. On the evening of July 30th, 2022, 24-year-old Alania Lenore of Douglasville, Georgia, disappeared after a night out with friends in Midtown Atlanta. Now, she has not been seen or heard from since. Natalie, what actually happened here?
Okay. Well, Curtis, what we know is that Alania, she left her home in Douglasville to meet a girlfriend in Atlanta. We know that they met up with two men. They were all last seen at the Peachtree Midtown apartment complex together. But sadly, Alania never returned home, and then the trail has gone cold.
So what about the people that she was with that night? What did they have to say to those investigators?
Well, it's our understanding, Curtis, that there has been inconsistencies in the stories of those three individuals that was last seen with her.
Well, do the investigators think that her life could be in danger?
Their stories kept changing. Wasn't matching up, including Tory and the two men.
Well, we don't know. However, she's missing under suspicious circumstances, and her family, they believe that she was either kidnapped or abducted.
Speaking about her parents, how are they holding up?
Well, Curtis, her family is devastated. They are extremely worried. And this is totally out of character for Alania. She would not leave home and not contact her family, especially this long. So they've been putting up flyers. They held a candlelight vigil, and they just want her home safely.
All right, let's take another look at Alania. She's Black, 24 years old, 5'4", 120 pounds, with brown eyes and long black hair. And she goes by the nickname Fruity. And when she was last seen, she was wearing blue shorts, blue shirt, and cream-colored shoes. If you know where Alania might be or have any information about her disappearance, make sure you call the Black and Missing Foundation. Their number, 1-877-97-111. BAM5. That's 1-877-972-2634.
Please make that call if you know anything. And again, to both of you, again, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again on the show in the near future.
And thank you.
Thank you.
For more than 6 months, 24-year-old Alejandra Lenore went missing, and her family continues to push for answers. And today, 11 Alive's Kara Spelger spoke with Lenore's mother after two of the suspects involved in her daughter's disappearance made an appearance in court.
Parents shouldn't have to say goodbye to their kids. You know, kids are supposed to say goodbye to their parents.
The last 7 months have been agonizing for Jeanette Jackson.
I don't think anything's ever going to make me feel better.
The last time she saw her daughter, Alani Lenore, was in July when she went to an apartment with a friend. She was never heard from again.
It was a Friday, that she left. It was the Friday that I last physically saw her.
3 people have been charged in connection with Alani's disappearance. Deontay Reynolds and Stephen Obiote were initially charged in the summer of last year. A third suspect, Nicholas Hendrickson, was taken into custody in November. On Wednesday, Reynolds and Hendrickson made an appearance in Fulton County Court. Jeanette was there that day with more than a dozen family and friends.
I've never been a person who asked for help. I pretty much have gone through all the struggles in my life by myself, for the most part. I don't know what I would have done without those people.
More so because Alani's remains have not been found, and Jeanette says she still has hope that something will come up.
Not having her is always going to be problematic with me, regardless of how I get her, and what shape she's in.
And while she waits, Jeanette says now she wants to honor her daughter and make sure other families don't suffer something similar. Kara Spelger, 11 Alive News.
Very, very sad. Very sad. Her mother spoke out a lot. And the thing that got me was I felt like the police just really wasn't on top of it and doing their job. Now, Alana went missing, right? And then they just came out so quick and said this. Let me show you something.
For more than 6 months.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom.
It has been 1 year since 24-year-old Alani Lenore vanished from a Midtown Atlanta apartment complex. She is presumed dead, but authorities have never found her body.
Right.
Atlanta police have arrested 2 other people in connection to her death. Another suspect is still on the run. Fox 5's Tyler Fingert spoke to her mom today. Tyler is in Midtown Atlanta at the complex where Lenore was last seen.
1 year after her disappearance, Alani Lenore's mom says she just wants answers. Atlanta police believe she's dead, and her mom says she won't rest until she's found.
That's the problem I have right there, because they came out so quick and announced that allegedly, I have to say, that she was already unalived. But there's no body or anything. And I don't know if I don't think there was a confession. Like, those guys aren't even telling the police anything. But I believe that they did say she's never coming back again. But could that mean they trafficked her or she's unalive? Because, human trafficking is a big thing. A big, big thing. And my thing is, if they was to say where Lana really was, the whole trafficking business would be exposed, because I believe it's not just these three. I believe it's a whole organization. But that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm having some hope that she's still alive.
Annette Jackson, the last year is something she wouldn't wish on anyone or any mother as she navigates life without her daughter.
We love her and we miss her, and that there's nothing that we wouldn't do to change this circumstance.
July marks a year since her 24-year-old daughter, Alania Lenore, was last seen at a Midtown Atlanta apartment complex. Jackson says every day for the last 12 months has been painful.
Every day is a challenge. So 1 year, 1 day, a month for a parent, it all runs together.
Atlanta police say Stephen Obiate and Deontay Reynolds face a number of charges, including felony murder. Reynolds is locked up at the Fulton County Jail without bond, but Obiate is still on the run. Jackson hopes someone, somewhere, will help bring him in.
It is very important to get him, in custody so that, one, he can tell me where my daughter is, and he could just accept accountability.
Police have also charged a third suspect, Nicholas Hendrickson, with helping them dispose of Lenore's body. Jackson says a large support system has helped her get through, as a Fox 5 camera captured outside the courthouse in February. A year in, she hopes for some closure and answers, but not only that, she's on a mission to protect others from being victims themselves.
Community needs to get together and say, we're not going to keep allowing this to happen to people at all.
With Obiate still on the run, the family is offering a $15,000 reward for information that leads to his arrest. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers. In Midtown.
And yet, it still continues to happen. It still continues to happen. There is a reward to catch him. I think they know where he's at. They got to. Now, my thing is this, right? His girlfriend winds up pregnant. His baby mother, his wife, winds up pregnant again. But he's on the run. Well, if this is his baby, allegedly, right? Why isn't the cops getting this monster off the streets? You mean to tell me that this girl winds up pregnant and you gonna tell me that you cannot find this animal? Come on now. Now, most people might say, well, it might not be his baby, Brooklyn. That might not be his baby. But shit, she ain't saying it ain't. A friend of mine, Sharon Nation, did a little did a little video of Alana Lanier's case, and I wanted to show you guys that. She hasn't been doing videos for a minute because she is working her behind off, but I am going to share something that she did because I think she thinks she did a really good job on it, and she worked hard putting it together. And then we're going to have to move on to the next case.
second example is this. A crime might violate
betrayal. When someone you trust breaks that trust by doing something that hurts you. The irony here is the act of betrayal can only come from someone you care about. You never see it coming.
24-year-old Alani Monet
Someone
Lenore,
put Cheryl
better
Nation's
known to
link in the
those who know and
description
love
for
her
me.
as Fruity,
I mean, I can do it.
was born on December 6, 1997, to Abraham Lenore and Jeanette Jackson. Her family describes her as someone who was always laughing, joyful, and full of life. Her infectious spirit and bubbly personality left an impression on everyone who came in contact with her. And according to her mother, Alani's best quality was her heart. No matter what quarrel she had with somebody, she was quick to forgive and move forward. And her forgiveness was genuine because she would never hold the past against you. She described her daughter as being perfect on the inside and someone we all could learn a lot from. Growing up, Alani's lively personality would lead her to join many activities. She was a part of her school dance team, she was in the chorus, and she even enjoyed theater and drama as well because she was such a natural at connecting with other people. She enjoyed making TikTok videos with her family and friends. Every glimpse of Alani, whether through a video or a photo, reveals snapshots of who she truly, truly was.
My name is Alani Lenoir. I go to Cherokee High School, and I've been coming to Urban Tangles for about 2 months now, and I just love everybody there. Alicia, everybody's so nice, and the difference between her salon and other salons is that they're really quick, and they'll get you in and out, and there's no uncomfortable not speaking. Everybody's really sweet and initiate a conversation, and whenever I go to an event, everybody's like, "Where'd you get your hair done?" And I always look the best there.
A young girl full of life with a magnetic personality and vivacious spirit that could just light up a room, which makes the story I'm about to share even more heartbreaking. On Friday, July 29th, 2022, Alani was picked up from her home in Douglasville, Georgia, by her friend, Tori Green. During that weekend, the two headed to Atlanta, which is about 30 miles away from where she lived. Between that Friday and Saturday, she would visit her boyfriend, go to work, and by Saturday evening, the two headed out to visit with two acquaintances, which allegedly Alani had not long since met. By all appearances, they were just two girls hanging out and looking to have a good time. The two men, Deontay Reynolds and Stephen Obiate, invited the two girls to hang with them at the Peachtree Midtown apartment complex. Though what was supposed to be a night of young people laughing and having a good time turned into a tragic nightmare, one that began with 4 people entering the same apartment and ended with only 3 of them leaving out. Alani, Tori, Deontay, and Stephen entered the apartment, though Tori, Deontay, and Stephen were the only ones to ever be seen leaving. This is where everything gets strange and the web begins to tangle. On Sunday, July 31st, Alani's mother, Jeanette, received a text message from Tori asking if Alani was okay. It read, "Hey, is Alani okay? None of us have been able to get a hold of her today." Jeanette replies, "Not sure, haven't seen her since Friday, but that's normal." Tori then asks, "She didn't come home last night?" To which Jeanette replies, "She doesn't have a charger. She normally doesn't come home until Tuesday. Wasn't home, so I can't say for sure, but when I came back, she wasn't here." Tori says, Brown hasn't heard from her since yesterday when she was at work. He said he's been waiting on her all night. Brown was allegedly Alani's boyfriend. And when Jeanette says she doesn't usually come home until Tuesday, it's speculated that she was perhaps referring to Alani's habit of staying over at her boyfriend's place.
Allegedly, Tori said she left on Saturday night with someone who came to pick her up and returned to get her car that next morning.
Right. Allegedly, Alani was in a relationship with a man already. So she already had a boyfriend that she took him very serious. You know what I mean? Because I know that some people heard different things on the internet, and Tori has splattered out there and put Alana's name very bad, very nasty out there, and none of that is true. Alani was a smart, intelligent young girl who had a talent for herself as singing. She wanted to become a singer as well, and she had a young man, and she did work at a club that she was chosen to leave that entertainment life and to build something else. She would also go to the studio and practice her singing, and she had stuff going for herself. So I'm thinking Tori had a little bit of resentment for that. Tori might have been a little bit jealous about that. I don't know. Allegedly, could be.
She texted Deontay asking about her friend's whereabouts. He said he hadn't seen Alani and was under the impression she left because she had to watch her younger brother. Though between him and Steven, the two had conflicting stories about what happened that changed several times during their conversation. On Monday, Tori reached out to Deontay via text. She said she was on her way to the Peachtree leasing office to try and request access to the surveillance cameras. She writes, "Y'all got anything you want to get out before we look at these cameras at 10? Deontay replies, "Go ahead, I have nothing to hide." You definitely do. That's why y'all got different stories. Like, the F y'all go do at 4 a.m. for 4 hours, bro. You really starting to try me at this point. I've been cordial. I really hope you find your friend. And if there's anything physically I can do, let me know. Tori responds, "I'm sorry, she's just never done this before. Incredibly out of character. Did she say someone was picking her up? I'm not mad, just irritated." Bro, F your irritation. My friend is effing missing. To which Deontay says, "When I came back, she had left. The main thing I know is she had to go watch her brother at some point. So why your friend saying she left at 8? Ninja, because she left around 8 according to him. I was not there. You can check whatever. She sobered up and dipped is my presumption. How the hell am I supposed to really even answer that?" Tori ends with, "Oh, I can't wait for this MF and leasing office to open. You the last MF to see her." More time went by without a single word from Alani, and everyone began to grow worried. At the time of her disappearance, not many people had any solid information about these two men last seen with her. However, the world would soon find out. During this time, in the initial days of her disappearance, Tori seemed genuinely concerned. She was the first person to reach out and show concern to the point she even contacted some of Alani's relatives in Chicago.
Now, yes, that is in the beginning. Tori seemed very concerned. She started texting and calling family members and everything. That all happened in the beginning, but what happened after that? Why the animocracy? Why the angry? Why calling Alani names? And I'm going to play all that for you before we move on to the next case, because you need to see how she played as the nice girl and then it became so vicious. Now, also, I want to tell you that apartment, right? Because Tori has told the family that when she went in that apartment, it was full with furniture. Dante and that apartment was full with furniture. But later on, everything was out and empty. Okay? Like if nobody lived there. Let's continue.
She went back to the apartment along with Alani's uncle to confront Deontay and Steven, but the two were never there. She even reportedly stayed for 2 days to stake out the place in hopes of running into them. But the police threatened she would be charged with harassment if she didn't leave. In the meantime, Alani's mother and other friends and relatives sprang into action as well. They filed a police report, made phone calls, and canvassed the Peachtree luxury apartment complex. They were looking for anything that would give them some clues. There were cameras around, so they were hopeful that maybe they would provide answers, but to their disappointment, they weren't allowed to view any of the footage. Everything surrounding Alani's disappearance seemed sketchy, and law enforcement was moving slow as snails. So before we go any further, let's go into the details about this so-called luxury apartment complex. We all know that looks can be deceiving, and this is a prime example. These apartments were anything but luxury. And based on the reviews alone, I would say the family had justifiable grounds to be concerned. There were several one-star reviews centered around safety. The others were unaddressed maintenance issues. Over the coming weeks, more reviews would reveal the management staff had been allegedly removing Alani's missing person flyers for fear they would affect business. Because of this, many people who lived in the area didn't even know Alani was missing. One person wrote, "The rent was affordable during my tenure, and apartment maintenance requests were always addressed. However, I had serious concerns about the safety of this complex. On many occasions, I noted in writing to the leasing office problems about the many broken and open access gates. I rarely received a response, and any repairs were short-lived. In 2019, someone tried to break into my apartment, and the responding Atlanta police officer told me that he noticed many of the gates were not working. I was very disappointed with 1660 apartments for the following reasons: entrance gate not functioning properly, rat infestation, garbage dumpsters overloaded, trash stacked up around the garbage chutes, mold and mildew in the apartments, and non-working elevators." Do not believe the positive reviews. I am a SCAD student with friends that live there, and a girl went missing this summer, but they took down the missing signs to give people tours so they can move in. There are shady characters always around. The front and back gates are broken. Cameras do not work. Maintenance plays favorites and left a huge hole in my friend's wall. Left a note saying they'll be back and have yet to fix anything. This place is sketchy and not worth the money. One of my other friends that moved out said there was a guy walking around trying to open everyone's doors. Like, this is a terrible, terrible place. And management tries to get people to write good reviews and gives out incentives for it. It's a death trap. Do not move here. Do not live here. I wish I would have listened to the bad reviews before signing a lease. These apartments are not worth the money and definitely not luxury. I got bad vibes when I was touring this place. Felt like they were fake nice and desperate to get you into the door, as well as not caring who lives here. Not stringent enough background checks to find good tenants. Do not go here even if you're desperate to find a place. It's not even worth the low prices. People had questions. Like, if Alani and Tori went to this apartment together, then why did only one of them leave?
Right.
And how could Tori not have any idea where her friend was? Also, how is it possible for 3 people to lose track of somebody who was at one point with all of them? It didn't make sense. When asked about why she left the apartment without Alani, Tori first said she left to go be with her boyfriend and planned to come back and get her. But that story soon changed. She later said she asked Alani if she wanted a ride home, but Alani declined and said one of the guys would pay for her an Uber. For weeks, no one knew Tori by name. The public only knew her as the friend, the girl who committed a cardinal sin when she broke the quote-unquote girl code by ditching her friend and leaving her behind. Social media commentary went crazy as speculations ran wild. People had a lot of not so good things to say about this alleged.
And that's the truth. We did not know her by her name. We just knew her by the friend who left her friend at that guy's house. We didn't know who the hell this girl was. And social media was going insane. They were going off. And they had every right to, because we all wanted to know who this hell was this girl. And why would you leave your friend with a bunch of dudes that you don't know? Or did you know?
Alleged friend, who was at the least questionable, and her silence only added fuel to an already out of control fire. So, who exactly is Tori? Well, according to Alani's mother, Jeanette, Tori is the mother of her grandchild because she has a daughter with her ex-husband's son. So even though people refer to her and Alani as friends, they are technically family. However, even in the wake of everything that happened, Tori went from a hysterically concerned friend to a seemingly cold and callous enemy. Her concern shifted to disdain, and her text of worry about her friend transitioned to criticism and downright hatred. She went from showing her support to completely distancing herself from the family. But where did all of this animosity come from? Did all the criticism from the outside get to her? Or was this a sign of a facade beginning to fade? Of course, only Tori truly has the answers, though one can speculate that based on the behavior that ensued, perhaps there's more to the story. Deontay and Steven's names were released to the public as persons of interest. People speculated that they may have been involved in some sort of sophisticated trafficking ring, and Jeanette started to believe her daughter had been kidnapped and may have been held somewhere against her will. Turns out both Deontay and Steven have criminal records and a very disturbing history of nefarious activities that would make anybody raise their level of concern. 30-year-old Deontay Cleophas Reynolds is originally from Los Angeles, California, and is no stranger to trouble. In 2012, he was charged with first-degree burglary on more than one occasion. He caught a charge for attempted burglary in 2013 and was arrested in December of 2020 for possession of a weapon as a convicted felon. Allegedly, he's accumulated 50 years of probation for his offenses. Even more unsettling is what's revealed from the content of his social history, most of which I can't regurgitate due to its explicit nature, though a few that stuck out to me were these tweets he shared in the past. Control-Alt-Delete your bitch ass. Don't try me, you might blink and die. I can feel myself becoming more and more heartless every time something I don't like happens. Ever hug your mom with a pistol on your waist? Shoot a ninja spot up, watch a ninja crawl out. It wouldn't be a
Sounds kind of vicious to me. He sounds like a straight up animal. Just gonna say it. Okay. He sounds like he's heartless. He has no heart. Where's Alana Lanier? Where is she?
stretch to assume that Deontay Reynolds is reckless. Overall, his social media footprint reveals a disturbed young man who doesn't respect women, promotes violence, and seems to be mentally unstable. Police learned that his apartment at the Peachtree residence was obtained under an alias. So what exactly was he up to? 30-year-old Stephen Obiate is no angel either, and allegedly has drug-related charges on his record. He too had multiple identities and properties obtained under different aliases. It wasn't till the following Thursday following her disappearance, 5 days later, the cops actually began looking for Alani. It would be a full 10 days before they acquired a search warrant for the apartment. By then, the two men had already packed up their belongings and moved everything out. Police wanted everyone to believe Alani just left on her own, but her mother knew better than that. Jeanette was close to her daughter. For the most part, they talked or texted daily. It was routine for them. She even had the location to her daughter's whereabouts set up on her phone. And when she checked Alani's last phone ping, it sure enough showed the Peachtree location. But the police were making her feel like she was wasting their time. Her frustration led her to eventually hire a private investigator.
The family of Alania Lenore searched and begged for information about their missing daughter.
Please fight. Keep fighting. And we're going to all keep praying for you to have strength to come home.
Now they're getting extra help with former officer and longtime private investigator TJ Ward.
I have the resources to find the right people, cadaver dogs and drones and aerial support. I can get that and develop that and put that in to utilize to be able to enhance this search and this investigation.
Then a break in the case.
At this point, we have developed enough evidence to suggest that Alania was murdered and that her body was disposed of. We have secured Fulton County arrest warrants for 2 individuals. One of those individuals is currently in custody at the Fulton County Jail, 29-year-old Deontay Reynolds. The second subject we are going to ask for the help of the media and the general public to locate. He is 29-year-old Stephen Abate. We do believe that Stephen is located somewhere in the metro Atlanta area. And so we would again ask that if anybody has information on his whereabouts or any information regarding this investigation, that they would please contact the Atlanta Police Department or Crime Stoppers and provide us with that information. So keeping in mind that this still is a very open, active investigation, our ultimate goal is to locate the body of Alani and be able to provide closure for this grieving family. But we will take some questions that we are able to answer at this point.
It didn't.
Were there any leads or tips that led you to that? I know you said there was like technology, but were there any leads or tips that led you to that location as far as where you believe she was killed?
So that's the great job that our missing persons unit did right off the bat. And again, every missing persons case that we get, we investigate aggressively. We take each one of these cases seriously, and we're able to utilize anything at all at our disposal to locate this individual. So in this case, it was an exigent request for a phone company to get a last known location. And that's what led us initially to that apartment complex.
Did Alania know the 2 gentlemen prior to that night?
So we do believe that they did have a brief acquaintanceship or relationship. They were not complete strangers at the point of that night inside of the apartment.
Did Reynolds turn himself in, or was that
He was apprehended in Conyers, Georgia, and then transported to the Fulton County Jail.
Are there going to be any charges potentially for the 3rd person who was there with them that night?
Girl, Tori.
She was with a friend.
So at this point, we are still exploring everything. The evidence we have at this point does not suggest that that individual was culpable in the disappearance or death of Alani.
Do you believe that Avante is still in the metro Atlanta area or maybe left the area?
So, that's where we're really reaching out and asking for help from the public. At this point, we do believe he may still be in the metro area. And certainly anytime we advertise an individual's face and let them know that they are wanted, we know that it increases the likelihood of that person trying to flee. But we also know that we are stronger when we work together with the community. And we are confident that tips will come in that will lead us to the apprehension of this individual.
Law enforcement had been in communication with both Deontay and Stephen. After a thorough investigation, Deontay was arrested and Stephen agreed to turn himself in, but never did. He is still on the run as of the release of this video and is considered to be dangerous. If you see this man, contact Crime Stoppers or call 911 immediately. Both suspects were charged with felony murder and concealing the death of another. Even though they haven't found a body, law enforcement believes Alani is deceased according to the information they gathered. Keep in mind, though, that law enforcement doesn't just deem a person deceased, let alone announce it to the public without a considerable amount of evidence. It takes a lot of circumstantial and physical evidence to even get an arrest warrant for homicide. Also, notice that even though Tori was cleared immediately, it was made clear during the press conference that the investigation concerning her involvement was still ongoing. His exact words were,
"No, at this point, we are still exploring everything. The evidence we have at this point does not suggest that that individual was culpable in the disappearance or death of Alani."
He pointed out that at that point in time, the evidence they had didn't point to her, which meant that at any point during the investigation, things could definitely change. Let me remind you that in America, our justice system denotes that we are all presumed innocent until proven guilty. So, though Tori may appear to be a walking red flag to some, at the end of the day, we do not have all the facts in this case. So, just because her behavior may appear to be atypical doesn't make her a criminal. I say that because what I'm about to share is not favorable to her character, but needs to be shared in order to give reference to the full story. As stated before, Tori's demeanor shifted at some point during the investigation. The more the family and the public pressed her for information, the more she pushed back. Tori eventually took to the internet and posted a long explanation to Instagram. Since it was quite a long post, I'll summarize it here for you, but I'll also leave it for you to read in its entirety in my community tab. The post asserted that Tori in no way would have left Alani with Deontay and Steven had she felt it was unsafe. She said it was her first time meeting the two men, and Alani was the one who visited them in the past. During the previous encounters, Tori alleged Alani was provided with an Uber paid for by either Deontay or Steven. Because she claimed Alani visited the apartment alone in the past, she assumed Alani was safe enough to do it again. She also alleged when she realized the, quote, party, unquote, was over, she was ready to go because all she could hear were sounds of persons being intimate from another room. She claimed she texted Alani, who was in a room with Deontay, and asked if she wanted a ride home, in which Alani declined and said she would take an Uber. She then left with a friend and came back the next day to pick up her vehicle, and she says Deontay was not home. The public's response may not have been what she was expecting. Perhaps Tori felt the explanation would provide her a little accusatory relief, though that wasn't the case. Many people still didn't believe her and thought it was a tacky way to try and redeem herself. Allegedly, it was also revealed that Tori lied about not having met Deontay or Steven before the July 30th encounter because phone records obtained by law enforcement proved otherwise. Therefore, it was hard for the public to believe any part of her story, knowing the most.
I'm sorry, God.
I bet that one sucks. I'm going to let that sit with you. So feel free to digest it at whatever rate you find tolerable. Keep in mind, these are the words directly from the mouth.
I'm going to rewind that piece again.
Shots at Alani and saying things that would make anyone question their friendship.
I am smarter than Lonnie. Isn't she gone and I'm not? Stupid bitch. I bet that one sucks.
And that is the words of a so-called friend who cared so deeply, right? And that is not all she said. There is way more stuff that she said to the family. But I'm going to show you that another time. Shout out to Cheryl Nation, my girl, for doing that documentary of Alani. She put that together. I really do appreciate that. And, you know, she worked hard on that. I do have other cases, though, I need to get to. But yeah, there's just so much more with Alani's case with that. It was something I was gonna say with that. Oh, yes. Tori did lie about not knowing the men because I have some information from one of the family members that I knew that Tori has spoken to the men before. Um, I'm just gonna leave it at as that she was having intercourse with the men, and I have and there's some document texts and stuff like that. So Tori, bitch, you knew the men, okay? I truly believe that it might have been Alani's first time uh knowing the men, but then again the cop says that there was texts and stuff proving that she didn't. But how would the cop know that if they don't have Alani's phone? Oh, but they have his phone. I don't know. Anyway, we are praying for the family, Alani's mother and her brother, and her aunt knows that I truly care. They know I truly care, and I just want them to find Alani. And my heart goes out, and I'm not never gonna stop putting her name out there. I know I might couldn't do it every single day, but I'm never gonna stop. You know, I have other names, cases, and stuff too. But much love to the family, and over here in Brooklyn Squad, we care. Oh my God, what am I doing over here? Okay, I'm gonna have to go to the next case. Oh, wait a minute, guys. All right. Sari Sweetie Thomas. She's been missing since November 21st of 2002. Okay. If you give me a minute, I am going to pour her up. I should have never erased the thing because I could have just pulled her up right out of there. Damn it. Give me 1 minute. Hmm. Shout out to Unsolved Delaware. Unsolved Delaware, me and him did crime together on here. I think it's almost a year ago. We did a few cases, and he does a lot of unsolved cases for that goes back many, many years as well. We need to get together again. I'm gonna hit him up because I know a few of you guys were saying get him on here again because you guys want to see somebody else on here, besides just me, right? So I'm working on that, right? I'm gonna hit him up again. This is one of the cases that he has been working since 2002. Okay, now when I tell you he's foot's on the ground, he goes out there, he does what he has to do, even if it's on the internet. He also has a whole platform on Facebook. This is one of his cases. I want you to check it out. I think this is a very sensitive case for him. This young lady was from Atlantic City, Maryland. She was last seen with her boyfriend. Okay? Let's check this out. Now, I don't know much about this case. I'm going to be honest with you. So I'm hearing it for a little bit at a time with you guys. I checked a little bit on it, but let's get into this. This is the mother, I believe, or the grandmother. We'll see. Let's get into this, y'all.
I'm 56. So I walk around here and I just think that, I always say, like one time I did a Facebook post and I told them, whenever I post about my sister, I always say, may God have mercy on the souls who knew and didn't open their mouth and say anything. Because you will never understand what our family is going through until it happens to somebody in your family.
Voice that you are hearing is that of Stephanie Thomas, the sister of Sierra Thomas, who was 19 years old when she went missing from Atlantic City, New Jersey on November 21st, 2002. Stephanie sat down with us on our podcast on March of 2022 to discuss Sierra's disappearance and the impact it has had on her family 21 years later.
Sierra Sweetie Thomas has been missing, young thug.
Do you want to grow your YouTube channel? You should consider getting TubeBuddy.
I've been using TubeBuddy for the last 2 years, and it has
The Mount Zion Road and Hable Road, which is in that Cleveland Avenue corridor.
What is this?
Now, when we're talking about gang clothing,
Young Thug. Okay, no, we don't do no Young Thug over here. All right, I'm going to try to find something more. I thought that was a whole podcast thing. Just give me 1 minute, guys. Because she's been missing for so long. So long. And you know, it's a shame because I couldn't find nothing on this young girl except for that. That's really sad. That's the stuff that makes me upset. That's the stuff that makes me upset.
Voice that you are hearing is that of
Damn. Let me Google her, y'all. Y'all can wait a minute, right? Okay. Because I really want to at least tell y'all a little bit about her. Because it's been a while and I see her face platter all over his platform. You know what I mean? So, okay, well, I got somebody that Federal Thomas on the. All right, here we go. Okay. Come on now. Okay. This is sad. Okay. Sierra Shear Thomas went missing in Atlantic City, New Jersey in 2002, and her family is still seeking answers. Let's get rid of this right here. Remove this. Okay. Look at this, y'all. This is supposed to be her. Okay. I am going to pull this up. I'm going to stop that screen. And you know what? We're going to pull this up and we're going to look at this together. How about that? Let me see. Oh, okay. I got some stuff on her. Okay, what's this? A record? Okay, here we go. All right, y'all. I'm gonna share the screen. There she go. Wow. Sierra Thomas, also known as Sweetie, vanished suddenly on November 21st, 2002, after her sister drove her to visit her daughter's father near her 800 block of North Maryland Avenue in Atlantic City, New Jersey. She was just 19 years old at the time of her disappearance and had her whole life ahead of her. Thomas told her sister that she would call her when she was ready to leave, but her sister never got that call. So wait a minute. She drove her to visit her daughter's father. Sister drove her to visit her daughter's father. So she visited her daughter's father. Thomas told her sister that she would call her, but she never got that phone call. Her sister reportedly stayed in the vicinity for 1.5 hours waiting for her to call. Reportedly, Thomas' boyfriend, whose name I will keep anonymous for his privacy, met up with Thomas the day of her disappearance. He's maintained that he does not know where she went after that encounter, and he has stated that she was accompanied by an adult male friend. With only $33 in cash in her pocket at the time of her disappearance, Thomas may not have been able to travel far without help. After Thomas failed to show up for her job at the popular hotel casino Caesars, which I know where that's at, Thomas was also enrolled in a course to obtain her high school diploma, which she also ceased to attend upon her disappearance. If alive today, Thomas would have been 39 years old. Oh my goodness. Wow. Get in my hand. All right, so this young lady's family dropped her off somewhere and then she went to go see her boyfriend. Her boyfriend says, "Oh, we talked for a while," and then she went with some male. That don't even sound right. So hold up. You let your girlfriend go with some male? Some guy? Bullshit. I call that bull crap. And she has been missing for all these years. She would have been in her 30s now. She was 19 when she went disappearing. This is please do your job. What happened with the boyfriend? Who is the boyfriend? Where is the boyfriend? Did the boyfriend get, I'm sure he got questioned, and once they said, okay, well, the boyfriend said that she walked off with some male, I guess the police said, well, okay, she probably ran away and she'll be back. It's years later, and this young lady is still not home. So now what, officer? Come on now, this is crazy. A young black girl goes missing. And she has not hit the headlines of every news station, media, TV. Nancy Grace, where the hell you at? Oprah, where you at? Or are you still trafficking kids, allegedly? Ooh, did I say that? I did, and I said it, and I'm going to continue on my channel. And if you don't like it, I might get some more unsubscribed people. Oh, well. because I'm going to speak the truth. Young black girl go missing and she don't go worldwide public. Why? Make it make sense. Boyfriend, they just take the boyfriend's word. Oh, she walked off with some guy. Oh, really? And that was okay with you, homie? You okay with your shorty walking off with the next dude? Come on now. I really pray that they find this young girl. Jessica Stacks, next, 28 years old, mother of 3. She's been missing since January 20th, 21st. Let's go to Jessica now. Where is Jessica Stacks? Right here. Jessica Stacks. I don't know what happened, but I know my daughter's gone and she'll never come back, said Kathy Patterson. Kathy Patterson Milton. She was a good girl until she got into drugs. The details about this day Stacks went missing are minimum and sketchy. The story as told to authorities is that Stacks and her boyfriend, Jerry Wayne Badgers, 45, launched a flat-bottom Joan boat into the river. Okay, I read this already. Okay, I read this one. Yes, I remember. Okay. All right, here we go. Into the Talachit River channel of County Road 46 in the early morning hours on Friday, January 1st, 2021. Security camera footage of the Poolville Quick Stop on Highway 30 shows Badger trucks towing a boat before 5:30 a.m. sunrise that day at 7:30 a.m. The couple reported wanted to take advantage of the seasonable warm weather to search the bottom for wild hogs or deers on a high ground in the floated river bottom. The plan accordingly to Badger was to float down to the channel for the Country Road 46 about 3.5 miles and then get out of the Rocky Ford Bridge where Highway 30 crosses over the river. He kept his phone, but then gave Stacks' phone to a friend so they could call and tell him where to pick them up. The water was flowing faster than usual, and Stacks asked to get out about 2 miles downstream. She got on the right bank and said she was walking back to the country road. The boat was later found beached on the opposite bank about a half a mile after downstream. Police, he got, but the boyfriend said the Badger told the police he got out of the boat and called someone to come pick them up. Stacks was not reported missing until 10:15 that night, more than 12 hours later. And not by Badger, the boyfriend. The Union County Sheriff Office began searching for Stacks that night, but had to call it off at 2 a.m. on January 2nd. The search resumed daylight that Saturday morning. This is some weird ass shit. The entire area was underwater, said Union County Sheriff Jimmy Edwards. It was Sunday before it reached enough to get to the side of the river on foot. People walked the river and had drones flying. The trail ended up in a flooded. Okay, this is a lot. Okay, listen. So listen. This young lady wanted to go boat riding with her boyfriend, an older gentleman. She was in her 20s, he was in his late 40s. They wanted to go boat riding, and she never made it back. But he has his cell phone. He gives her cell phone to a friend. Why would he do that? He makes it back and she doesn't? Something ain't right. Now, the mother says that her life was good until she started using drugs. I need to look into this story a little bit more because it seems like just because she started using drugs, it became a problem. And I hate when people do that, right? No shade, but she wasn't the problem. The drugs were the problem, not her. People forget that she had an addiction, okay. But what became the core of the addiction? And just because she had an addiction doesn't mean she deserves to be not found. And they waited for hours to go looking for her. I just find this very strange. She loved to go fishing, but she's not stupid. She only weighed 105 pounds soaking wet, Pattis said. It was pitch black dark. There were no street lights out there. She wouldn't go hog hunting. She wouldn't have gone fishing. The mother also questioned where Stack's pursuit, and phone were found, where her purse and stuff were found. The purse was found in the boat. Pattis said if her daughter had gotten out of the boat, as Baggett had told investigators, she would have taken her purse with her. Yeah, they need to question the boyfriend more because this whole story don't even sound right. You telling me she's gonna let a stranger use her phone? That's a crock, said the mother. When she hasn't heard from her daughter that evening, she knew that something wasn't right. The man said he didn't know where Stacks was and hung up the phone, according to the mother. Badger's daughter, Badger says she contacted them and told her not to worry about her daughter. They were between 7 and 8 p.m. Jessica wasn't reported missing until after 10 p.m. Yeah, this is very sketchy, guys. I seen my daughter with bruises on her hair pulled out. The mother said, my daughter came to the house with her eyes beat shut before. Oh yeah, oh yes, this is definitely need to be investigated more. He once left her outside of the road in the summer heat with no water. He put her on the highway before. Even though they've been dating for quite some time, when that later disappearance, the mother said that he would never offer condolences or an explanation of what happened that later date to her daughter. She said he never contacted her at all. He's never called, not even once, said the mother. He's bought me Jessica's clothing. Oh, this is very strange, yeah. How did he get her clothing? How the hell did he get this girl's clothing? This needs to be investigated way more. Way more. And I want to do another live on her. I want to find out if there's any news reports on her. I'm just writing that down, guys. Yeah, definitely. Because something's definitely way off. A girl says she wants to go swimming. First of all, it was dark out. Like the mother said, she's not a dummy. And he was beating on her, so she was in a domestic violence relationship. Yeah, when did this happen again? What year was this? 2021. January 1st. Why the hell would they go down there in the damn water January? That don't make any sense at all. In the winter? In the snow? When was this second? Yeah, I gotta do another thing on this one. Yeah, that don't even make sense. That don't even make sense, y'all. All right. Jaden Griffin, 12 years old, missing August 20th, y'all. Let's go find Jaden. Well, the case on him. Please, when you come up, guys, hit the thumbs up button. Thank you guys for joining. I do appreciate it. We are talking about young missing cases that that goes missing. And it seems like, the public is not doing much about it. News report, police, all of them. That's right, all of them. Now, this is a young man who's 12 years old. This is a very short case because this young man was 12 years old and he's been missing since 2020. He walked out of his house and he's just missing, like he's never came back. I don't know. It's not much on this case, but I do want to show you what the news has to say. Okay? So let's get into it. All right, hold on, guys. Let me see. Is this it? Okay, there we go.
Years since Jalen Griffin walked out of his Buffalo home and never came back. Now, family and friends held a prayer vigil tonight to remember him and urged the community to help in the search. Buffalo police say his case is still open, and detectives from the Special Victims Unit have investigated significant leads.
We have had progression. They did eliminate a lot of spaces and reports of where he could have been. October 18, 2022, they did some searches and some like aerial views and brought out K9, and they went in the spaces that they were reported that he could have been, and they've eliminated all of that.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released this photo created by a forensic artist to give an idea of what Jalen Griffin could look like now at the age of 15.
It's been 3 years since a Buffalo teenager disappeared, and police are once again asking the public for help in the search to find him.
News 4's Patrick Ryan is in Buffalo tonight, where family members will be holding a vigil for Jalen Griffin. Patrick?
Dave and Jackie, the question, where is Jalen Griffin, has been plastered on posters and pinned up across the Queen City in the long 3 years since the then 12-year-old went missing. You can see behind me here, we're right outside the Central Terminal where a prayer vigil is just getting set up. You can see the photos of him on candles as his loved ones say they are still
12
searching
years
for him.
old, man.
Now, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released this age-progressed photo. It shows what Griffin looked like when he went missing and what he may look like as a 15-year-old today. He was last seen at this convenience store at the corner of Broadway and Sears Street on August 4th, 2020. The convenience store is just a few blocks over from his family home. Jalen's parents tell me they haven't lost hope and just want their son to come home. If your son sees this, what do you want to say to him?
We need you home, Jalen. Come home, please. If anybody know where he is, their whereabouts, please give us a call. Call to the New Kirkland Ministries and just get him home. Help get us home. And I appreciate everybody who's pitching in on this. Everybody.
Griffin's parents don't believe their son is a runaway and that he may be being held captive. Meanwhile, the family pastor, Tim Newkirk, says he's dedicated the last 3 years to handing out posters and tracking down leads. Now, Dave and Jackie, Buffalo police tell us that the case into the disappearance of Jalen Griffin is still open. They ask anyone with information, no matter how small, to contact the Special Victims Unit. That number is at the bottom of your screen. Now, coming up on News 4 at 6, you'll hear from the mother of Jalen Griffin. Reporting live in Buffalo, Patrick Ryan, News 4.
I think that's very strange how a young boy just goes missing and disappears. That just don't sound right. And I can't really find nothing on this kid. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. But I pray that, he gets found. It's been 3 years now. Something definitely is not right. Prayers. Okay, sorry guys. All right, we got one more. We got Rachel Hammond, last seen 2019, leaving her mom's house in Colorado. Okay. I'm gonna look up that one here. Let me see. Okay, so she is definitely on the news and stuff. Okay. Let's go to, let me see here. Video, let me see. Jaden missing. I will go right here. Now, this is from Colorado, guys. Okay. Share the screen and this I have reached out to her family. I'm waiting for them to send something back. Her mother to send something back. I'll send her my video. She is 33 years old, who is part Cherokee. She's been missing since August 15, 2019. I'm part Cherokee.
Her mother believes she's a victim of sex trafficking, but deputies have never found any evidence to support that. Missing Indigenous peoples cases often go unnoticed, but we have shed a light on cases like Rochelle's in the past. And right now on thedenverchannel.com, we have our full story about Rochelle's disappearance, as well as our previous reporting on missing Indigenous people in Colorado.
That's all they gonna say? The hell? That's not good enough for me. Okay. I found something else. That was very short. I didn't like that. I want you to check this out. I found something. And in June 2020, Rochelle's mother posted that she received a message from someone claiming to be Rochelle's kidnapper with an image of her being held hostage. However, it was quickly determined that someone had photoshopped Rochelle's face into a photo, though it appears that this missing was cruel and a hoax. The possibility that Rochelle might not have been kidnapped has not been ruled out. That is horrible for someone to do that. I mean, come on, you evil prick. This is a picture of her. There are plenty of different pictures of how she looks. This is another one. She was missing August 15th. She was 30 years old, 2019. Woman was living with her mother in Moscow, Colorado at the time of her disappearance. Rochelle left her home on foot the day Rochelle has never been seen or heard from again. Damn. There were very few reports about her disappearance in the media. Certain sources indicate that Rochelle's been known to be living homeless, but this has never been confirmed. Rochelle's mother has been actively posting about Rochelle's disappearance on Facebook, but it appears that very few leads or clues have been surfaced. Yeah, and you know what? They're right. There is barely nothing about this young woman at all. Nowhere. You saw one of the news clip, a sip of it, and that was it. Like, come on, let's get this out there. Lord have mercy. So please share this video. Let's get this out there. Hit the thumbs up. I have so much more cases to go. So much more. But for right now, what I need from you is a prayer to pray for the family, that they find their missing loved ones. They find Jaden. They find Rochelle. They find Alana. They find Jessica. And they find Sierra. And I need you guys to do one more thing. And it's just free. It doesn't take time at all. One thing. Hit that like button. Share this video. Let's get some hope for the family. And with that, everyone, have a blessed, safe night. This is Brooklyn Squad, real life drama with real life crimes. Have a blessed night. I have to attend to my daughter who is visiting with me right now and my hubby. So, hug your loved ones. Watch their social media. Be lovable. If you need to be protective because you never know when you're going to see them. These young people that I just talked about, they could be our family members. They could be our close friends. You never know. Be nice to the ones that's nice enough to text you and see how you're doing. Give you that message and check on you. Even if they don't check on you, still check on them. Be courteous. Until then, see you later. Bye, guys.